Hey everybody, welcome back to Jimvitational. It's Callus here, your guest narrator. This is round 6 action, a low bracket match, an elimination match between Conflict and Violet River. Now, Conflict I covered earlier in the tournament, and as you may know, is just generally one of my favorite Pokemon players. Someone I have a lot of respect for and thoroughly enjoy watching. Think is a brilliant Pokemon mind in all tiers, but certainly ADV included. And yeah, someone who is not afraid to play their own way. Someone I really enjoy watching and commentating on. Now, River I don't know as well. I know her a little bit, but she was kind of after my time. She never did play in the Callus Invitational tournaments. It just, the timing didn't line up, but she's been good for a couple years, and people who I know and respect the opinion of have a high opinion of her. In the games that I have seen with her, I like what I see. Seems really solid. I think she just has a really good fundamental understanding of the game, and assuming she sticks with it, I think she's going to be, I mean, she's already up there, but certainly one of the top ADV players of the future. I have no clue how that lines up with Conflict. This is really an interesting pairing, because, I mean, this is someone who's my age versus someone who's significantly younger. But, yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes different approaches leads to better games. So, here we go. Very excited. Conflict is going to be on the bottom, and River is going to be on the top, and they both have Tyranitar, an immediate DD and substitute. Neither one even a little bit afraid of the other. But obviously the one behind the sub is going to have the advantage in this situation. Focus Punch there would have super duper killed Tar, so Conflict does have to pull it back, and does so by going to Celebi. Does pop the sub, and we have a, is that a Tyraniboa for River? Could be. We didn't see the last move, but Sub Punch Crunch certainly makes me think Boa, and this is not the start that Conflict was hoping for. He's bold, like I said. The calm mind there, I mean, he thought for sure that the threat of the boosted Giga Drain would scare River away, but as we have soon learned, River is also bold. And you can't see it here, but didn't even use the timer to make that play. Didn't even have to think about it. So, Conflict, you now know what you're up against. This player is not afraid of you. It's not going to be easy. Nevertheless, the boosted Machamp here does take out Skarm after a lair. We've got ourselves a 5-5. Salamence comes in. Intimidate probably doesn't matter. Flamethrower is whatever there, but the burn is not whatever. That is unlucky for Conflict, and that is not good for Mence. Even if it's a mixed Mence, the burn is pretty bad. Unclear now if that is Hidden Power Burnt Flying or Hidden Power Grass, but either way, it tickled Blissey. Here comes Swampert. Ice Beam, fair enough, 28%, but I definitely prefer River's position right now with the spike that Conflict seemingly cannot remove, and of course with that lucky burn largely crippling the Salamence. Calm Mind, sure. Looking at a good old Endeavor pert here, but Endeavor does only have the 8 PP, so Blissey theoretically, with good predictions, can soft-boiled stall that out. Conflict, rather than going for Endeavor, is fishing for a freeze. Can switch it up, of course, at any time, but has gone for 3 IBs in a row. There's the sub pop, so gotta be careful now. Now it's actual Endeavor, 6%, and soft-boiled, of course, back up to 55. This is a prime example as to why some people use last move Focus Punch on this set. It would have been very handy in that situation, but as it turns out, the Swampert does not even get through the Bliss, and the advantage that I thought River already had gets bigger. Machamp here comes in, goes for a Rock Slide, not going to do it into a Rachi. Granted, Conflict didn't know that was there, but now that you know, not great. CM and Cross Chop, Hidden Power, sure, down goes Champ. Bad to worse from the seat of Conflict. River definitely with the advantage. Here is a Hidden Power Grass at +1, 47%. DD but no lefties. DD again. Okay, well, hey, there's one way to come back. +2 Tar GG. It legit could be, actually. Aww. Wah for Conflict. Last book Swampert is just about the last thing that he wanted to see. Did still have the option there of just finding a crit, but not lucky enough to do so. And now the last poke for Conflict better be really good, or it's going to be game 1 going the way of River. Does look like a Mixment, so perhaps that was HP Grass earlier, but Mixment's apparently without Flamethrower or Fire Blast, which is certainly what he wants to have here against the Jirachi. Dragon Claw for good measure on the way out. Second CM. Better have a really, really good last here, Mr. Conflict. Meta? Yeah, I mean, Agiligros, if you live. 1%. Hey, 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 hey! Hey! Stop the presses! Maybe, just maybe. This actually could do it, potentially. Maybe? Flinch? Oh boy, wait a minute, boys. Wait just one moment here. So the point here is to fodder, get Swampert in, gain lefties, switch out, rinse, repeat. Keeps it in, okay. Another flinch. I mean, Conflict is super not supposed to win this game, but like, this is a spicy ending. Maybe, just maybe. Obligated to attack here, of course, or Zard will just kill you, so Swampert will get one more thing lefties, so crit or flinch. Can we get a third flinch? Oh my god. Okay. No justice. It lives at 4%. Like, how bad is it if Conflict crits there? Alright, well, that game ends the way that it's supposed to, and it is a River victory, but boy, betcha River was sweating a little bit at the end there. Conflict made it interesting, but the Swampert does manage to hold on, and game 1 does go the direction of River, which, like I said, is the way that was supposed to go, given what that end game was. But Agiligros is just one of those pokes, man. It's kind of like Aerodactyl. It just kind of BS's you out at the end. You get flinches, you get raises, whatever. It just kind of gets there. Anyhow, game 1 for River. Go over to game 2. Remind you guys, in between games, we're accepting donations all the way to the end of the tournament. Yes, the tournament in real time has ended, but they are still taking donations, and it will be given to the players who won money. So if you want to support the tournament and try to incentivize them to bring it back in the future, that would be a great way to do that. Anything helps. $5, $10. Doesn't have to be extravagant. It all adds up. So thank you for considering doing that. As we move to game 2, I remind you, River 1-0 up. Conflict is going to need 2 in a row. River can win this game or a theoretical game 3 to knock Conflict out of the tournament. Here we go. So River on top again, Conflict on bottom again. Rachi and Zapdos, both of whom apparently are comfortable staying, but it is actually a Lumberry Rachi, which is a little unusual. And in a cruel twist of fate, it is actually Zapdos who ends up paralyzed, even though it's the one who clicked T-Wave. What a world we live in. And there's a full pass. This is a really bad start for Conflict, who's already down a game. This is probably not the way that he wanted this to go, but I guess it's not as bad with the Dougie in the back. It is just a trade. It does give River the opportunity to go to whatever she wants, which of course is going to be a very safe Skarmory into Dugtrio. But Breloom is really not a bad follow-up. Now that hidden power is weird. Oh boy. Oh boy. Conflict, my man. Pretty unlucky there. Immediate wake and Drill Peck. The worst possible sleep. The fastest possible wake. Not going the way Conflict would want here. Down a poke with a spike down. There is enough offense on the other side. I mean, the Dugtrio is obviously not going to do much into the Skarm, but the Raikou Suicune combo, maybe the meta. It might just be a Agiligros again, honestly, but there could be. It's so hard to know without. I mean, we don't know 4 of River's Mons. Well, there you go. That's one way to get through the Skarm. That was pretty greedy from the River perspective. I don't love that play as much, but I don't know. I mean, the matchup seems really bad, though. Both Skarm and Arrow are 2 of the better pokes you can have against these, like, I mean, it's not like full-blown special offense, but like Zapdug special offense-ish teams. Skarm and Arrow are definitely where you want to be. I mean, that being said, doesn't look like River really has a great special wall. I mean, that pump just flat out deletes the tower, and all of a sudden we've got a tie game. That Ice Beam's huge, too. Giga Drain there, I mean, sure, but no crit. Apparently the Suicune is a real problem. Now, granted, the Aerodactyl can come in here. I don't even know if this gets him. I mean, is it Rock Slide or Double Edge here? Apparently it's Double Edge, and it's just not enough. I mean, I guess it is enough, and that the Suicune will die, but, like, at what cost? A game that looked like River was really far ahead is just a Swampert now. Fishing for a freeze. I mean, obviously, I guess he might be afraid to boom because of a potential protect, but I mean, he's just playing like a man who has a Raikou with HP Grass where none of this matters. There's the boom. I don't think it would have even mattered if it got protected against there, if it even had it, because, like I said, I think the writing was on the wall at that point. We didn't actually see it, but I think the Raikou just comes in and clicks HP Grass, and whether you protect it against the boom or not just doesn't matter. But speculation. But yeah, that one changed really, really quickly. That one way faster, 22 turns. Looked good for River until it didn't, and Conflict is going to send us to a third game here. So either Conflict or River will be eliminated from the tournament with this game, and of course the other player is going to make a really deep run and still be playing in round 7. Here we go. Conflict and River one more time. Zapdos and Tower, the two most common leads in the tier, both going to stay in. T-Bolt and a missed Toxic. I feel like it has been River getting the advantage in most of these early games, but this time, turn 1 and certainly turn 2, distinctively in the direction of Conflict. The Dugtrio, of course, is going to tank the non-crit Rock Slide every time there, and Cheetar is no more. And that's a Will-O-Wisp miss as well, so little bit of a change from the previous games. This one is really looking good for Conflict in the early goings. River, like I said, has gotten off to some fast starts, but well, this is a fast start, but not the kind that she was hoping for. She is really far behind. Half a dozen turns in, down 2 pokes already. Did not respect the HP Grass on the Pert there. Okay, I mean, hey, you got to do what you've got to do when you're behind. So there is an Ice Punch and there is a Freeze. However, Lumberry gets rid of it. Fire Blast misses, which is a nice break. Fire Blast misses again. So sure, but I mean, there is still the Dougie in the back. Don't forget that part. Sub and, okay, fine. Fire Blast. Still good enough to pop. But the Dugtrio threat, very real. Focus Punch there. Yeah, 41 is a lot, and that was just a surefire way to pop the sub. Had she gone for that again. This time the Ice Punch does not freeze, but this time the Fire Blast does not kill. Focus Punch yet again. And this is, of course, just going to lead to the Dugtrio revenge kill after all of that. So, Conflict, totally fine with that. 1 for 1 is totally fine when you're this far ahead. Leaves us in a 5-3. Many unrevealeds in this game, currently 2 each after Arrow comes in for the first time. Overheat, swinging for the fences, 55% is a lot. Cannot kill the Arrow with the follow-up, knows that and gets out of the way. And here is Skarm. Gengar coming in for the first time for Conflict. Spikes come down, but like 3 of the pokes that we know about are flying or levitate. Is it really that important to have spikes? Not that it's ever a bad thing, but like, yeah, not that exciting. That was good for River to catch. I mean, basically, anything but the Skarm would have been bad, but having the boom land on the Skarm and do very little, frankly, 26%, is obviously good for River. Makes this a lot closer and more interesting. Conflict does still have the lead at 4-3, and we don't know the last, but River is mounting a little bit of a comeback there. There's a Toxic Miss and a 50% Psychic. BP to Swampert. That is the formerly unrevealed last, so we now have all the cards on the table. We know exactly what everybody's working with. And yeah, I was going to say, if it has a grass move, which it does, Giga Drain, all of a sudden we're pretty close, and the Dugtrio might not actually, yeah, I was going to say, man, these games have been very swingy and back and forth. This is kind of opposite. In the previous one, it was Conflict really far behind until he wasn't, and now we might see the reverse. This is actually going to end up pretty close. I mean, I think Conflict is still supposed to win here, right? I mean, don't you just click a couple Thunderbolts? Yeah. If the Moltres could have survived there, even at 1%, it gets interesting. But Zapdos on clearly an offensive team, might be modest here or have some significant special attack investment. And yeah, I don't know the EVs on the Moltres, but was not bulky enough to survive. Conflict very complementary to River's play, particularly being complementary of the quote God Predict versus Gengar, and saying wholly close series, both of which I agree with. I think River is a really good player and very worthy of respect, but Conflict really is one of the best. I mean, not just ADV. Conflict is one of the best Pokemon players of all time. This guy is really, really good, and I'm thrilled to see him make this run and be this damn close to the money. Good run for River. Very deep and unsurprising. Very talented player, but is going to be eliminated in this round, round 6, shy of the money. So I appreciate you guys watching. This was a good series. I think that I have just one series left that they're going to have me narrate. I think all the other ones are spoken for. So for the last time, guys, at least the last time in this tournament, I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.